Alright, so I'm doing a different type of video. This is a video about spicy foods and a warning I want to give you. There are a ton, my cat's in here so if she meows, there you go. There are a ton of spicy food challenges out in the world, out online, products that you can buy and do and partake in. I want to give you a warning. There's not really, I don't think there's a really insanely spicy food challenge going around right now, but I wanted to give you a warning as sort of just a general word of caution put on YouTube. Hopefully you can spread this message around. I was kind of naive when I would read that people would go to the hospital from spicy challenges. They would do things. They would do the spicy challenge and then be put in the hospital because of pain. I always thought, well, maybe it's a bit of stomach burning. Maybe it was just uncomfortable. Maybe it felt like acid reflux and they wanted to fix. I want you to steer clear of that same sort of naive mindset that I had, because it's been almost not even a year, maybe 8-9 months since I did the packing one chip challenge myself. And of course I'm late. This is like a video 9 months late. But it's just a general word of caution is that, especially the Paggy One chip seems to really do it. The concentration of peppers they put onto that chip. When people go to the hospital because of those challenges, they're going for a legitimate reason, and I want you to understand that. I did the one chip challenge, the mouth. Yeah, it was really hot in the mouth. It was gimmicky and fun, but then there was sincere physical issues that were happening in my stomach as this chip did to a lot of other people. A lot of other people were having extreme stomach pain that was sending them to the hospital. And again, when you read those headlines and you're watching this video here, I'm going to heavily emphasize the fact that that is not an exaggeration, and it, for me, was the worst pain I had ever been in my life. Now again, listen to my words. I'm not saying it was spicy in the belly, or it was just burning and I was uncomfortable. I had never felt a pain so severe. It wasn't burning, it was like someone had literally stabbed me a few times in the gut. I was on the ground after about 10 minutes from time of consumption of that chip. I was on all fours and then soon in the fetal position, shaking at the middle school that I did it at, because I brought my friend, we bought the one chip and we did it at like a little playground just for fun, it was a place we did it at. I was on my knees shaking because of the pain in my stomach. Now what causes that? Your body detects it. There's a lot of capsaicin or something, an irritant in your stomach, and your stomach starts to push out more gastric juices to try and get rid of it. What that causes is extreme intestinal distress or stomach pain, stomach distress. Honestly, I did not know that a human could feel such pain. And again, the problem that I had with my naive mindset that I mentioned earlier was that it didn't seem like that type of thing could happen. When I would read the headline, kids going to the hospital because of the one chip challenge or other spicy challenges, I kind of thought, oh, maybe they're just being weak-minded and that, it burned a little, it felt like acid reflux or whatever, and they went to the hospital. Sincerely, stop screwing around with these types of challenges, because it was about 15 minutes of non-stop, truly agony, torment, and unrelenting torture. Sincerely, that's the best way I can describe it. I don't have a weak pain tolerance, or I have a high pain tolerance. I don't not tolerate pain well. I'm not weak in that sort of sense, or have an issue with pain, or have a low pain tolerance. I have a very high pain tolerance. But that had literally sent me to my knees, and I was shaking from pain. I was shaking from pain. I wasn't shaking from sort of effect that the capsaicin had in my body or the spice in my mouth. I did not know that the human body could feel that much pain. I was on my knees praying to God, and I had literally almost ran to the hospital, as a lot of other people did. My friend and I yesterday did the Hellfire Burger Challenge at a bar where I live called the Kickstand Bar, and it's a burger with pepper jack cheese, jalapenos, and then 2 pieces of bacon that have Carolina Reaper all over them. I did it once before, but my friend came down and I did it twice, and it was his first time. We did it a couple days ago. And about an hour and a half, 2 hours after consuming the burger, he had to pull over in a bank parking lot, and he was absolutely synonymous with what happened to me with the one chip. He was on his knees, shaking in agony, and then threw up all over the place. In hindsight, it was kind of funny because of like, it's like, oh my God, 2 pieces of bacon did this. But in the moment, it was legitimately scary. When you think of a habanero, or you think of a ghost pepper, a Carolina Reaper, or you watch, even like I did, Good Mythical Morning, and you casually hear Link talk about, I'm worried about what this is going to do to my stomach after. You don't really associate it with any sort of real pain. You kind of just have that assumption that, oh, it's spicy, you might have an upset stomach. It was legitimately torture for me when I had eaten the one chip. And I believe, sincerely, it may sound silly, that you could torture someone with any sort of extremely spicy challenge. Again, I was on my knees, on my hands and knees, shaking and almost hyperventilating, sweating from pain alone. It was the worst thing and the scariest thing I had ever been through in my life. And to say that a chip humbled me is putting it so lightly. So my warning, my message through this kind of long video is that please sincerely think about this. Unless you're a spice god and you have some sort of genetic gift where you don't feel capsaicin effects, or you don't get bothered by it that much, it's not that spicy to you. If you're like the rest of us, like 97 to 8%, 97-ish% of the population, that's just a guess. If you're a normal person, I strongly encourage you to heavily consider not doing any sort of major, extremely spicy challenge. While that may seem like a fun gimmick, while you may, you buy the chip and there's a poster that comes, I did the one chip challenge. I may have that around here somewhere. I don't see it. While you may feel cool and it's like, oh man, I ate this really dark purple blue chip and it was so spicy. It literally can bring you to your knees in pain. I was groaning in pain, rocking back and forth and shaking, really close to sprinting back to my car and going to the hospital begging for some sort of pain relief, because it was painful. It wasn't spicy. It wasn't fun and gimmicky, like, oh, my stomach's upset. Unrelenting torture is what it was, and I'm being serious. I'm being absolutely serious. So this is my heavy warning to you. And then the spasm, all the gastric juices in my stomach, that wave kind of went away. I got in my car with my friend. We drove off, and then about 10 minutes later, another wave hit me, and I had to swerve my car, just like my friend a couple days ago, because he's down here. We did the challenge. I swerved into the parking lot of some sort of recreational building at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, really dark out, pitch black. And I stumbled, so people couldn't see me, so people didn't worry, behind the sign of the recreational building, like, a sign that you put the, individual, hi kitty, individual letters in that you spell out something on, like a glowing sign for a restaurant or a building or whatever. I huddled up behind that and had another shaking, shivering, groaning, rocking back and forth fit from pain alone. I heavily encourage you to consider what you're doing and consider the risks and research it. Find a forum where people have talked about this, and everyone will tell you that any sort of extreme spicy challenge can lead to severe physical consequences that are terrifying to go through. It doesn't actually harm you at all. There's no physical damage. It'll never kill you. It is horrible, unrelenting pain. That is it.